So today we've got a fun crafty project. Wow, look at that. Okay, we're getting there. Apparently it's Stacey proof. There we go. So I've just cut out this gorgeous little butterfly one. Oh, that's so cute. Hello, welcome back to Farmer's Wife Homestead. I'm Stacey if this is the first time we are meeting, and welcome back to episode 2 of the 12 days of Christmas. So today we've got a fun crafty project. I've been wanting to make candles for a very long time. This is not a tutorial on how to make your own beeswax candles because this is my first time. I've watched a couple of videos. I'm just going to have some fun with it. And then we are making beeswax wraps. I've also wanted to make them for years and years. They used to be all the rage and I wanted to do it then, but you know, typical fashion of me, I don't like to follow the rage at the time. I like to do it in my own time. So I went to Spotlight and I've purchased so many beautiful fabrics. They're just real cheap squares. Look, there's even a Christmas one. Love that one. Oh, where's the animal print? Look, there's even cows and pigs. So anyway, it was these squares of fabric. That's the size of them, and they were, I think there's 10, I'd have to check, and a 10 for, I think it was like $20 or something like that, and they came in these little wee parcels like this. I have washed them. I forgot to grab pinking shears. Apparently you don't need it, but as you can see when I washed it, the edges did fray. But once you cut it with normal scissors and the beeswax goes on it, it's fine and it helps keep it in. So I'm going to trust the experts on that. So yeah, Spotlight, and I'm pretty sure there's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, it is. So 10 for $12 is pretty good. I brought a kit for the beeswax wraps because I thought, well, I'm going to give it a go first, and if I like it, then I'll buy the stuff in bulk and then I can make more. Now the idea is obviously to save a bit on costs of cling wrap. I'm getting lower on cling wrap, and I just want to start trying to save more money where I can. Pure Nature, there it is. It's a Kiwi company, and everything is in here to make the wraps. There's the little box. Apparently it's Stacey proof. There we go. So it tells you what you've got in your kit. So we've got 100 grams of yellow beeswax, 20 grams of pine resin, 50 grams of jojoba. Oh God, I mix up my words. Jojoba oil. Equipment needed: fabric, paintbrush or pastry butt, baking paper, Purex jug or pot for double boiler, an iron or an oven. Oh, and it's even got the instructions on the back there. And so there's the beeswax, pine resin and the jojoba oil, 50 mils. This will be great. I'll save this for the gift baskets. So basically I'm making them for the gift baskets. And this is the beeswax that I have. It's pure beeswax. I grabbed some wicks, and oh, I wish you could smell this. This is incredible, and that's what the candles are going to be made from. And then I've got a little jug. I've got a paintbrush. I'm not sure if this is going to work because it's not a natural fibre. Hopefully it'll work. We're going to make a candle in a teacup. And then I've got 3 little fun jars that I got at op shops for like $1. So for the beeswax, I want to definitely make one big enough that will hold a block of cheese. So at the moment I have the cheese sitting and I'll grab it and I'll show you. So the cheese, and I buy 1 kilo blocks in bulk. You know, I buy 3 or 4 at a time. We go through one a week, 1 kilo block a week. So it stays in the little plastic wrapper, it's wrapped up, and then it's put into a Ziploc bag. And I want to change that. It just, I hate it. So I'm going to wrap my block of cheese in a beeswax wrap. So I need to decide which one I'm going to use for the cheese, and I'm kind of gravitating towards the yellows because of its cheese. So there's this just plain dots, and then the sunflower. I quite like the sunflower, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to make it with that. I don't have another block. This is last my cheese. Husband's going to town, but I'm pretty sure that I'll trim up the edges. I'm pretty sure this will be big enough. And I don't know how much the mix is going to make, so we might be able to make a round one for on top of a bowl or something like that, or something too. So I'm going to make one for myself, and then I might make a couple of squares or rounds to gift away. So the first thing we're going to make is a candle, because I'm going to use this jug and it will stay as a beeswax jug, because apparently it's really hard to clean. So we're going to make the candles first, because the other candle, the other beeswax has the pine resin and the oil in it, so we'll use that first. So now I've got myself a big pot, my little jug, and apparently to work out how much wax you need for the vessel that you're going to use, and like I said, this is not a tutorial, and you should make sure that your whatever vessels you are going to use will be suitable for something that's hot, like the beeswax. I figure a teacup is okay because you put boiling water in there, and some decorative jars might not be okay, but I'll give it a go. If worst comes to worst, it cracks on me. But you know, like canning jars, you know that they're good. So just be mindful of that. So for instance, I've got this candle that was gifted to me from my daughter. I'm pretty sure it was for a birthday or a Mother's Day. Oh, it smells so good. I should light it actually. No, I'll leave it for the beeswax to scent the house. So when this gets all the way down, you can use this pot to make another candle. I think that's it. Awesome idea. Okay, right. Now, as far as the wicks are concerned, I don't know a lot. I've done a little bit more research now, but apparently the size of the wick, meaning the diameter of it. So, for instance, this is a candle pre-waxed for large containers, 155 millimeters by 2 millimeters. There's 15 pieces. Now you also need something to stick it on the bottom of your thing. You could use a glue gun. I don't have one. You can use apparently these sticky dots. I don't have those. So we're going to fashion something up to do that. So yeah, as I was saying, the thickness dictates the size container. So this actually, and I never even read it because it's so tiny, says for large containers. So they're probably quite an overkill for these little wee ones, but it is what it is. It's what I've got. And I will link where I got this from in New Zealand. Wow, look at that. I'm also going to make lip balm, all sorts of goodies in the new year. I'm just going to grab a damp cloth to stop my cutting board from moving around, and I'm going to grab my vessel. and you want 2 times as much beeswax as what's in the vessel, and apparently that makes it enough. Of course you can buy wax beads, and that would melt faster and you wouldn't have to chop it like I am. It's actually a lot harder and stickier than what I imagined. And of course you can buy special equipment to make your own candles, but while I'm having a go at it, I'm not going to buy all the equipment. Oh, it smells divine. Smudge your fingers. Right, I'm going to call that 1. Now I'm just going to keep doing the same thing for all 4 containers. Not going to lie, it's really hard to chop this. My back of the knife is hurting my hand. So get the beads if you can. I think it's cheaper though, dearer to get the beads. It's probably why I brought the block. Right. So because I don't have anything to stick down there, we're just going to have to leave that. But to get the wicks in the middle, we need to wrap them around a pencil. You can use a clothes peg apparently as well. And then, now how am I going to get that to stick in place? Going to get some tape. Okay, so it's going to redo that so it's tight, and then I've just got some medical tape just to keep that in place, and then that will also stick the wick. Now I'm just going to have everything ready and waiting. Right, this is the setup that I've got going, and I can see that the wax is melting down the bottom there. It's just going to take some time. I've got a cloth in the bottom there just to help from shock of the glass, and this was right up the top, and we'll just melt this down. Hopefully it's enough to fill all 3, otherwise I'll just melt some more down. So I'll come back when it's melted. I'm going to use this as if it's a block of cheese. It's around the similar size. Yeah, I think that size will work well. Might be slightly on the big side, but I'd rather have it bigger than less. So that's going to be the cheese one. And then I'm going to have to do the Christmas one. I have to do the Christmas one because it is Christmas. So it's like, what shape should I do this? Maybe a bowl. Make a couple of bowl size. So you want to make it slightly bigger so it can hang down the side. It's probably way too much, so then I can do a circle around. And obviously it's not going to be perfect. I'm not selling them. I'll tidy those up in a minute. These are medical scissors, so get yourself some decent scissors. There'll be another one. And I think I might do another square. I might even do a couple of smaller ones. You could wrap little cheese, just whatever in that one, so we'll do that one as well. What other one? I definitely want to do some animal, so I might do just another square. Oh, that's shocking. I could get a ruler and draw lines on the other side, but this is my favourite print. So if there's enough left, I'm going to do myself something with this. Okay, we're getting there. So apparently it needs to get to 185 degrees. And I've got a meat thermometer here that we will test that on. Smells so amazing in here right now. Just make sure that you're keeping enough water in to keep the wax covered. Okay, now all the wax is melted, but we want it to be 180. So we're getting close. Last time I checked it was at 160. So it's at 170 now, and from what I have read, if it's too, if it's not heated enough, it will, what was it? Was it sink? I think it was sink or crack. And as I said, it's not a tutorial. And yeah, then this is it's got to get to a certain thing. I also saw that some people put coconut oil in, so the ratio was for for 1 pound it was half a cup. I don't know how much I forgot to weigh it, so that's fine. I'm just going to put in just you know, a heap teaspoon or something in there, and apparently it helps, it just helps to burn the candle more evenly, I think it was, they said. But I'm not going to add that, so I'm going to add about that much. I'm not going to add that until we hit 180. Ooh, it's hot. We're just about there. And I'm just cleaning it off straight away with a bit of paper towel. Okay, so we're at 180. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of that coconut oil in, and I'm going to shut that off. This is going to be super hot, so be very careful picking this up. And I've just stirred through that coconut oil. Okay, now we're just going to cool it down until it sort of like starts to solidify a little bit on the outside, and then we can start pouring. Now when you pour, you need to do one continuous pour so you don't have lines, and yeah, we'll go from there. I don't know that that's going to be enough wax for all 3 containers, so we may end up melting a little bit more. Alrighty. Do the big one first. Okay, that did 2. Right, so I made 2. I'm going to cut up some more wax to make the 3rd one, because I definitely want the 3rd one. So I'm just going to cut up and do some more melting, and then pour the 3rd one exactly the same way. Now, I may have let it cool down slightly too much, because I've noticed that the wax isn't filling the containers fully. Sorry, it's coming away at the sides. I will show you here in a second what it looks like. Yeah, so I think I let it cool just a little bit too much. But these are all the things that I'm going to be learning, because I really, really, really would love to make candles more often, not only for myself but for my family and friends. So I'm going to do that, and then after I've poured the last one, we will get into making these wraps. You see how it's sort of come away from the edge? So I think I cooled it down too quickly, and this is sort of like a bit domed. This is why I said it's not a tutorial. But I do like it, and I actually would have liked it more full than that. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier, but all I've done is grabbed a wet cloth, and now I've put that on the top of my knife, and it's much easier to push down hard, and it's not hurting the back of my hand. See how it's all red? Right, round 2 of melting. Look at my beautiful flowers, my Christmas liliums, and I've got the next one there is going to flower. It's one of my favourite flowers. Dahlias are also one of my favourite. And hydrangeas. I'm just a flower person, but I put them here especially for Tonya, who has been a long time viewer and she loves hydrangeas. And then here's the little kitchen Christmas tree. And if you watched my thrift haul, you'll recognise this. And that one there. And somebody asked me if I could put the correct time. So I put a battery in it after about 13 years of not having a battery. So that's this area. A little kitchen tidy up. So if there's any candle makers out there, and I know Michelle, you're one of them, you did it for years, leave us some tips down below for others that might be interested in getting to learn how to candle make. And as a community, so many people say how much that they love that everybody shares everything in the comments, and we all learn from it. Now with these little 2 candles that I've made, you're not supposed to top them up. I'm going to. And with this one here, with the just coming away at the edge, because you can't see, you know, that there'd be an edge, I am going to top this one up as well. I know you're not supposed to, but I'm just going to do it for the sake of this. But do tell me, am I right in saying that it's come away from the glass because I let it cool too much before I poured it? So for this one here, I'm not going to wait as long before I pour it. I have a feeling shrinkage was caused by too hot. Can't remember. Please leave a comment whether shrinkage is too hot or too cold. Anyway, the next lot is ready. And I'm going to pour this one and just top off the others. You're not supposed to move it, and here I am moving it, but I'm just going to move it over to there so it's out of the way. Right, let's start melting this beeswax stuff. Right, the instructions are: crush up the pine resin and make it into a powder using a mortar and pestle or plastic bag with a hammer, which is what I'll have to do. Melt the beeswax, jojoba oil and pine resin in a glass jar. So we can start by throwing, these are the little wax. They're going to melt so much faster. So I've just got a meat mallet and a couple of little bags. Oh my gosh, they're very big. And the size of them. I'm thinking it might take a little bit of bashing. Just going to put it underneath here. Start bashing. was nowhere near as bad as I thought. Done. How easy was that? Powder. Okay, so I don't have to do them separately. I can do them all at the same time. Now I'm just going to put that in the double boiler. Right, there's some stuff down the bottom. I don't know if that's the pine resin, or I'm just going to keep stirring it. Let's put a bit more water in. And then I'm going to get my iron organised. And get the bench all organised. Right, I've got baking paper on my bench and a tea towel, and I've got my iron here. It's you want it on dry, no steam. And then I'm just going to grab some tin foil just to protect the iron. Apparently this works. Guess we will find out. Now I'm just going to turn that on. And I did read that you're supposed to do the cutting after. I think it's just a case of you getting a layer down and then the iron will finish it off. Oh, look at that. Probably used too much, to be honest. And I need to get the drying rack actually. I've got a closed A-frame behind me. So I'm just going to reheat this again. And I'm going to hang this up. That is so cool. And it looks like I'm going to have quite a bit of mixture to make quite a few wraps. Pretty happy about that. You definitely see that I don't need to add quite as much. So you can see where there's any dry parts where you've missed getting some. There's a bit there. This is so cool. So pleased I did this. And then I've got my little animal print. Such a big wrap that I've just done half of it at a time. So I've just cut out this gorgeous little butterfly one. So I thought, well, that might be nice for a lunch wrap for my granddaughter. There's quite a lot of residual wax on the paper. So I'm just going to fold it over. And use it to put wax on this one here. See if that works. Nah, didn't really transfer too much on there, which is good because it means that I haven't been overusing it. So I've got enough to make this one here, I think. So I'm pretty happy. That's one huge block of cheese one, and we've got some square ones, a couple of round ones from this one kit. It's pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. There's the other little jar candle, and once these have fully cooled down, I will unwrap the wick and then cut it to about, I think it's recommended 1/4 inch. They smell divine. Here's the little teacup one. So that just sits on that, which is super cool. And then we've got our lovely beeswax wraps here, and they're very pliable, and the pine resin helps that. No, the pine resin, correct me if I'm wrong, the pine resin helps it to stick to something. So here's the bowl, and you get it, and then you mold your hand to it, and it helps. I don't know, something like that, and then it sticks to the bowl. Oh, that's so cute. That's gorgeous. Love that. Yeah, so super happy with those. Look at this one, it's gorgeous. Love that. Made that for my daughter. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed today's little crafty video, and might have given you some ideas. I will leave the link for Pure Nature in the description of the video if you want to look at their kits. They've got so many kits there, and I love them because everything comes in them. Instructions, everything. Alright, hope to see you on the next one, episode 3. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.